are live. Hello. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. You are watching the SFF News and Interviews podcast. And this podcast is for you creators who also love SFF. Also, please let us know if you experience anything other than good sound, and if you can hear us and see us, it would be great to let us know if you're watching this live. Thank you.
Yeah, because we had a couple of tech gremlins before we started.
Yes, we've had some technical issues. Apologies. Anyway, I'm going to try to go back to my script here. So I'm your host, Heather Dewey Pettit, and I am an author, editor, and artist. And what ties all these together is my love of science fiction and fantasy. I have a passion for helping others achieve great writing. Moving forward with this project is pretty important to me, as I aim to support authors and other creatives by providing information on the field of publishing and related topics, as well as providing services, but we can talk about that later. Because today I do have a lovely guest whose name is author E.L. Summers, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty.
Thank you for having me.
So do you want to say a quick hello?
Yes, so as Heather said, my author pen name is E.L. Summers, and I write fantasy and paranormal romance, as well as poetry in the same genres, fantasy and paranormal.
I find that so fascinating. So anyway, before we get to the interview, we're going to take a few minutes to get some news from the field of marketing, bookish news. Okay. Okay. First, this week is apparently Children's Book Week.
Ooh.
I did not know until this morning when I saw it. I saw this in my, where did I see that? Anyway, it was through social media and or my email. It's Children's Book Week. And, oh yes, because I had a thing from Thrift Books. So Thrift Books has a deal because of it. You can earn two times as many points if you buy kids and young adult books this week. Isn't that cool?
Oh, and then you can use
very much.
Buy books, you mean, or?
Yes, when you buy through Thrift Books, if you buy juvenile, it said kids and young adult, and YA. So apparently I'm taking that to mean broadly, like probably, the whole gamut between, I want to say board books, but that's not the word I was going for, all the way up to juvenile, middle grade, and young adult. There we go. Yeah. I think that's at least most of it.
I was trying to think, like, I knew there
all of them. I can't remember all of them at the moment. Anyway, the official names for that. So that is our national news, at least mostly our national news. Let's see. On Instagram, I saw, let me see if I can find it. 1 second.
Yeah, I was just going to say why it's such a wide genre.
Yes, it is. it really is anymore, right? Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. It is called. Oh yes, Horror Tree has a call for submission, and it's Horror Tree, and they have a lot of different. It's a publisher, and they have lots of different genres, and apparently they've had a lot of different calls for submission within different genres. I mentioned it, I do believe, last week when I talked to J.B. Kane and Elizabeth Schechter, good friends of mine. But Lauren's a good friend of mine too.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I like reading horror. I don't know if I could write it because I think the type of horror I like is more considered of like Goosebumps, like more like YA horror. I don't like gory.
Yeah. Same. I mean, real quick, I'm not a huge fan of horror, and yet my two favorite musicals in the world are, wait for it, Sweeney Todd and Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes,
Go figure.
Awesome. They both have good soundtracks too.
It's off camera, right? Mostly, unless you watch a live production of Sweeney Todd, because every time if they use the whistle, you get a jump scare.
God, I can't imagine that.
I had that experience, like, what was that, last year or something? I saw a live performance. Anywho, so no, now that's international-ish. I guess that's kind of national or international news. Now I'm going to go a little bit more local. There is a brand new bookstore coming in Altamonte Springs. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think so. It's called Fables and Fur.
Oh, cute.
Now, it's the first cat cafe and bookstore, I guess, in the area. I think it said in the Orlando area. I'm just going on my notes, sorry. So basically, they're asking for authors and vendors, and they're on Instagram. And again, I will put links in the description, and I need to do that with some of these other podcasts. I'm sorry. I'll get around to it eventually. I'm sorry. If I can pop some links in the chat. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, they're on Instagram, and it's called Fables and Fur.
I will have to check that out. That sounds adorable.
The cat cafe and bookstore. Oh my gosh, that's essentially, it's Orlando. It's in the Orlando area. I think it was the first. I don't know. It's just an interesting combination of things that I can't remember seeing before, but maybe I have. Anyway, so that I just focus on a couple of things for the news, unless something really stands out. If I think of something that's I can think of something that's coming, actually, because I am affiliated with Necronomicon Tampa. They have a sister con, and that is called Southern Media Con, and that will be next month. That will be
exciting.
Let me think. It's the last weekend of the month in June. So yes, it's called Southern Media Con, and it's mostly about the media and fandom. There's no real writing tracks or things like that. But it's fandom, and we all know each other, and we've known each other for years. And I finally went last year because it was in Clearwater. I'm in Tampa Bay. And it was really neat, and lots of gaming.
Do you feel like there was a lot of...
anyway, that's my little plug.
Do you feel like it gave you a chance to network because there are people in it from your area?
Exactly. Especially people who love gaming, because there is quite the library of games, because Southern MediaCon is known for games, as well as Necronomicon Tampa. So another plug, sorry. That's probably why I mentioned it, because I saw my shirt. Necronomicon Tampa is very known, very, very well known for its gaming. Literally rooms full of games. Anywho, let's move on. Anyway, let's move on, because I really want to talk to you, Lauren. So do you want to do a proper introduction?
Oh, sure. Put me on the spot. I always feel awkward doing it, because I'm just like, I don't know. I don't have like a spiel. I don't know what to say, but I'm gonna give it my best shot.
Just tell us give us your full name, and then maybe your author name, or whatever you want to divulge there, and tell us what you write.
Sure. So my real name is Lauren Wheatley, and as I said, my pen name is E.L. Summers, and I write fantasy, paranormal romance, and poetry. And I've had 2 poetry collections published, both on Amazon.
Oops.
And I'm currently going through edits for book 1 of a paranormal romance trilogy called Hunted with my sister Nicole.
Very cool, very cool. Okay. So yes, so you write, you were saying, fantasy and paranormal, and also those together, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying to you earlier before we went live, essentially that it's such an interesting blend of genres. Is it common now to have supernatural and fantasy? Well, maybe it is, if I think about it, because of fairies and things and different groups like that.
I feel like it's gained more popularity in the last few years. Yeah.
By the way, somebody is in the chat. Hi, and thank you. Thank you for coming. So, sorry, keep going. If you want to talk about the genre. Oops. Excuse me. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'm getting used to my new tech. Okay.
I was like, I didn't do it.
Oh, nope. Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would want to write another genre. I kind of just like follow the things that I'm into, and I do like elements of fantasy as well as weaving in supernatural creatures.
So what elements of fantasy do you like?
I like the idea of introducing magic and kind of creating like your own universe.
Okay, yeah, where you're just kind of coming up with things from scratch in terms of characters and world building.
Yeah, I feel like it's less pressure on yourself to try and base it on places that are in your own world, because I mean out in the real world, because then you kind of have to do research, and if you get things wrong, then people kind of, I wouldn't say go after you, but they kind of point it out to you. Yeah, like that's not really real. That's not how it is. It's like,
yeah, right. It's such a fine line. Believe me, I know, because the first major idea I had in years required ton of research, and it kind of threw me off. But anyway, so yeah, there's that.
I mean, it can be
And
done.
it's got to be easier. Well, it's less time consuming. It also, I guess, it depends on what you're interested in, but it's definitely got to be less time consuming than doing a lot of research for, if you're pulling from existing folklore or whatever.
Yeah, and I also think it kind of gives you more creative freedom to kind of do what you want, even if the original idea came from something that already existed.
What was that last part?
If you're pulling from inspiration from something that already existed,
mm-hmm.
and you can kind of like
right.
put your own twist on it.
Yes, exactly. So what about the supernatural elements of your stories, your work? What do you can you tell us anything about that aspect?
I just feel like I like writing about creatures that have a lot of urban legend behind them. So you can kind of pull from that in your world building and the characters that you're creating. And like I said again, even if you're basing something off of something that's already out there, say like vampires, dragons, fae, even though they are, there's a lot of different stories about this creature already, but you can also take what's familiar and then add your own spin to it.
Just 1 second. Sorry about that. Sorry about the noise. Sorry, and sorry for the interruption. What were you saying? Sorry. Pardon me.
It's okay. That you can take things that have already been done before, say like vampires or fairies, or even dragons, and add your own spin to them and make it your own.
Make them any color you want. Make a fairy look any way you want. Add wings, whatever. Make them glow. All of the things, huh?
I mean, I feel like you can pull from what's already there and then add to it instead of just trying to recreate
and a lot of
the same.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people do that. So they will maybe do a little bit of research and say, "What's this from?" Say, just a random thing. Oh, what's a fairy like in France? What are fairies like in France? And then pull from that.
Yeah, I think
and then do it all random.
It kind of lets you like
in a mishmash, because people do that too. Or they take a bit of folklore, say like regional folklore, and then they'll extrapolate on it, and they'll give something really long legs or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? They'll expand on it.
They're adding something that people are already familiar with.
To make it worse. Lack of a better word.
I don't know. I think depending on how it's done, it could be better. It could be better.
Just make it different, but different in whatever genre that you're writing, I should say. Not necessarily horror. I was thinking of horror. Sorry.
I think it applies to any genre.
Yes. That's and that's what I started to say. I was just talking about creating monsters.
I mean, that's fun too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, and I've learned that. I had an idea once, a couple of years ago. Anyway, I'm going back, not talking about me right now. So let's get back to it. Let's see. Now, how did you do all of that with, say, one of your current works in progress? How did you, or if you want to divulge anything like that?
Yeah, no, that's fine. So the current project I'm working on now, the main character is part mermaid,
Okay.
and I was kind of going on the idea of what would make her unique. What's
Mm-hmm.
already what do people assume with mermaids, and then trying to make it different. And I think it's done a lot in like D&D, where like you have like a creature that's like a half breed, so like half mermaid, half human, and then like
Mm-hmm.
the version of like how they would exist in the mortal realm.
Right. Right. Yes, I get that. And yeah, I've really been wanting to write mermaids lately in the last few years, so I think I'm gonna try. I had one idea, but I'm not sure about it.
I
I was
think you
thinking
should
of
do
a
it.
bigger. I was thinking of a bigger idea than this little thing I came up with.
I mean, the little idea could spark the bigger idea. So I say do
Yeah, I
it.
was just gonna say that. Because a lot of times that's how it happens. You'll write a short story, or you'll write part of it, or you like this one character that you were trying to figure out what you wanted to do with it. Do with, and
Right.
this character might be very interesting to some.
Or you go to write, in my opinion, that happens to me, is you go to write something that you think is going to be a standalone or a duology, and then it turns into being a whole series.
A whole series.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be. Um, yeah, you never know. You never know. You never know. Let's see. I'm trying to look at some more notes, possibly. Now, how does this apply to your poetry? How does all of this apply to your poetry in any way, shape, or form?
Ooh. I think with poetry, it's not as restrictive. So again, going back
It's
to like,
not as.
I don't think so, because
Hmm.
this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I don't like doing research because I just feel like it sucks up a lot of my time, and it's more time I could spend writing and being creative.
Yeah, and researching the actual writing, how to do actual. Yeah, I get
Yes.
it. I get it
So
completely.
I feel like with poetry, you can kind of like just take an idea and run with it. And I think as long as it kind of admits either like what you want the character to go through or the emotion, you don't have to have it backed up with a lot of research. I mean, you
Right. Not
can, but
necessarily. I mean, you
I
can, but yeah, it depends on what you're writing, right?
I do not.
Even in poetry, it depends on what you're writing.
Yeah.
But what was I just thinking about? So maybe getting back to the subject of that, and is it like a, a, a story and a poem, or is it more like a mood or a feeling? Um, how do you approach your poems? I'm just curious.
Kind of going off of like a mood or emotion, or sometimes if I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening to music, kind of like the I feel like if you listen to a song close enough, there's a story there, and sometimes I'll take the
Mm-hmm.
idea of that and turn that into a poem.
There you go. That sounds really interesting.
I think,
And so you
yeah,
use, and then so you like to use fantasy concepts in some way, shape, or form.
I think for my poetry, it's more paranormal than fantasy, just because
Gotcha.
I do like writing about monsters and mythical creatures.
Mm. Yes. So I find mythical creatures very fascinating, but so yeah. Um, let's not lose your train of thought. Anywho, anyway, it's getting a little late in the evening. Um,
But I feel like
Let's
that's
see.
that's why I like musicals so much, because musicals have a way of implementing music and telling a story with music.
Yes, and it can really amplify it, even if it's even if it's, say, some of it is maybe it has some humor to it or has another element to it of what the characters are doing. But if the character is gonna do something very interesting and whatever, then obviously the music changes.
Yeah, I feel like that's why we were both
Gets
saying
harmonized.
that we like Sweeney Todd, even though we don't like actually reading horror.
Uh-huh.
Because Sweeney
Right.
Todd's kind of dark.
It's yes, it is. It's based on basically horror stories that were written over 100 years ago. They were even pulled from a very specific story of these three penny opera deals. So it was supposed to be very melodramatic anyway. And so everything enhances everything else. So yeah, it's fascinating. And anyway, I love that composer so much. Sondheim, there we go. But anyway, fascinating stuff. Is there anything else you'd like to? Would you like to talk about any particular poem or another work specifically? I don't know if you like to talk about characters or plot or things like that.
Well, I was going to say, going back to musicals, I noticed that in a lot of my works, there's always one or two poems that is inspired by Phantom of the Opera.
Okay. And Phantom of the Opera, obviously.
Yeah, again, another kind of like
one of the first horror-esque novels.
I don't really,
kind of
horror-ish. I kind of see it as more of like a dark romance now, but
or dark, yeah. That's yes.
So I learned that I had enough of these poems to do an entire collection of poems, like either that are similar to that mood or set in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have a couple, and then I'm gonna be stuck, and then I don't know. Just like re-listening to the soundtrack, rewatching the movie. I think I have like 15 or 20 poems so far for the collection.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of really hard to write for the Phantom because he has such a unique, like, elevated way of speaking, and that's not how I speak at all. So it's like,
you said elevated way of thinking. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and his dialogue is like very
dramatic and
yes.
What's a good word for that? I don't know. It's very detailed and dramatic, and what is this word I'm looking for? Anyway, yeah, I know what you mean. I know where you're going.
Yeah, like very opposite of how I think and how I speak. So.
And so you're fascinated with that.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, he's very gosh. Oh well, I'll think of it later. I'll remember it an hour later, probably an hour after we end this thing, because that's how it goes. Yes, but I know what you mean. Obviously, educated in some way, shape, or form. Like he's self-educated.
Like higher than his station.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Like higher than his status in life.
Oh yeah, yes.
Like if you go back and read
that's
the book,
that's like, a great way of saying it. He speaks higher than his station in life. I like that.
If you go back and read the original play,
yeah, I read the original book by Gas in the Row. Am I saying that right? I actually read the original book, and it was a little bit of a slog, but I forced myself in, and they pulled so much from the actual novel that I was like, oh my God, that's pretty similar. I thought that was interesting. So yeah, it definitely has that theme that's dark, and he kidnaps the girl and stuff like that, and love me and whatever. So it's got that gothic sort of thing aspect to it. There we go.
Yeah, but I feel like that's why I said like a dark romance, because she.
Yeah, thank you.
In a way, she does
you
fall
said that
for
much
him.
better than I did.
No, thank you. But I mean, whether she wants to admit it or not, she does fall for him in the end. So.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, yes. I would too.
Big, fascinating person.
Yes.
And it's not just sweet talk. It's more than that, because he's very intelligent. So it's not just sweet talk. It's
she's very,
the way he explains music to her.
Charismatic.
That's a lot of it. I think. And the way he sort of trains her.
I think he's very
what do you think about that?
Charismatic, and I mean it's kind of manipulative, but it does work.
Right. Yes, it's definitely manipulative. There's that too. That's such a complicated relationship. So you have aspects of that, and you said you have aspects of that in your work, in specific books or stories?
Yes, in my poetry, yes. I feel like when it comes to writing novels, I tend to put more of myself in it, and to have more of like a modern take to it.
Okay, that's very interesting. It's hard not to do author insert.
Yeah. I try to tell myself I don't do it, but then when you go back and read books, you're like
my whole life.
That is me.
Yeah. That's a long time. And so what is the name of that book of poetry, real quick?
The one that I'm working on currently does not have a name.
Okay. But you have one that's published already, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Or am I wrong?
I have two that are published on Amazon. One is called Ignited Melodies.
Ignited Melodies.
Yes. And the second one is Deceptive Embers.
The more we talked about that, the more I remember that. The whole Phantom of the Opera thing. I remember that. Deceptive what?
Deceptive Embers.
Embers. Okay, and what's the theme with that one? You don't mind asking?
Well, I think for that one, I kind of wanted to go the of how people like to tell stories around a campfire, not necessarily like horror stories, just the fact of connecting and kind of escaping. Really, fire truck?
It's a fire truck.
Kind of escaping things that are going on in your life that you want to escape from, and kind of going into like a fantasy adventure.
Right. Let's see. I'm going to see about popping your Amazon page in the chat. At the minimum. Let's see. Into the chat. I will also, as I said before, put a bunch of links in the description.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see.
And now you gotta love
It's
when
my
you're
usual. Just doing my usual.
you gotta love when you're trying to do a live stream and like a bunch of things happen outside and you're just like, can you just be quiet until I'm done, please?
Oh my gosh. Random family noises. It's a thing. And so what about, and then you have a published novel or two? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, so what I mentioned earlier is a paranormal romance trilogy that I'm co-writing with my sister, and her pen name is Luna Nextfrost. And it's kind of inspired from Dracula and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And we did publish book 1 a few years ago, and then we found some errors and kind of like indiscrepancies in the book, so we basically taken off of Amazon and basically we rewrote the book, and we just got it back from the editor, so we're going through edits to republish it by October.
Okay.
And now we're working on polishing and writing the draft for the second book.
Okay. Awesome. Good job. It's nice when you get to another draft other than the first one. Isn't it? That's definitely a good feeling when you get to the next stage. Because for some people, myself included, they, moving on to the next stage is maybe a little bit too rough on them emotionally or something. But to wrap up one thing and move on to the next.
Well, I say love-hate relationship because you're happy that you got the draft finished, but you're upset when you find that you have to go back and fix. You're like, no, I thought I got this already. Why?
Yeah. Yes, because you're the author, and that's why we have critique partners, right?
Yeah.
And beta readers and everything else. All the other readers. It's definitely great to have at least one other pair of eyes, right?
Yeah, but I feel like it's never going to be 100% perfect. You're always going to find something that you want to change or improve upon.
Yes. As a matter of fact, if you pick up any random published book that is in a bookstore like Barnes and Noble or whatever, and it's even by a well-known publisher, it's kind of large, there will be typos.
Yeah.
Every book has at least a couple of typos. So, and they've been professionally edited by a number of people.
But I feel like then you want to point it out and be like, ha, it's not just me. Nope. I'm not alone.
Nope. Your author name is E.L. Am I right?
It's
I tried copying and pasting something, but it didn't work.
E.L. Summers.
I got it.
Good job.
1 second, and I will get this. Pop it in chat. It's just taking me a while.
That's okay.
There we go.
Yay!
Paste.
You did it.
Oh, I was just trying to do something else. I was trying to copy it from. Anyway, I didn't want to.
Tech
It would take
gremlins
too long
tonight,
to
man.
do the other thing I was trying to do. Anyway, so, is there a specific title of something you're working on? Do you want? Or we kind of talked about that, but what are you working on at the moment? You can just speak generally about it if that's what you want to do.
No, it does not have a title.
I think you did.
I am the worst at coming up with titles for things because I think I overthink it a lot.
Yes.
But the premise is, like I said, a young girl that discovers that she has the abilities of being part siren and is being sought after for her magic, and finds solace in an academy for other creatures that have mythical powers.
Okay. To have what powers?
That have different mythical creatures.
Mythical. I'm sorry, I just didn't hear it.
No, you're fine.
Cool. Very interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, that's the premise right now. Like I said, I'm writing it, so it could change.
Oh, that's the thing, isn't it? That's always the thing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes things just change, and you realize that's not what I meant to do. So let me. I went because you went off on a tangent, and oh wait, I gotta stick to the outline or whatever your purpose is.
Well, that's funny you say that.
What is that word?
I'm a pantser. I don't use an outline.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to ask, are you a pantser? Or are you an outliner? Or a little bit of both?
Definitely a pantser. The few times I've tried to use an outline, even if I was stuck on something, I don't know. I think I just overthink it, and it's like it has to be exactly what's in the outline, and I don't want to write it.
Not necessarily. If you use an outline and you deviate from it, even if like just a little bit, and then you go back to it, you deviate. I've heard this, that it's very common for people to do. And so, yeah, don't feel bad about any aspect of how you get it done. Because as long as you get it done, right?
Well, I found lately what's been helpful of, keep writing and not getting too caught up on the details is to write a couple of scenes that pop up in my head and then go back and work on it later, like connecting the scenes together. Instead of trying to write from like point A to point B, because then nowhere to get right.
As I say, I like to do this and say, oh, say that or say this. So let's see. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about tonight? Anything that comes to mind?
I feel like it would be. I feel like it would be nicer to find more book events in my area. I feel like even though I live in a large city, I live in Baltimore. I haven't been aware of many book events, at least not that I know of. Then again, I'm limited that I don't drive, so there could be events like a couple hours away that I'm not able to get to.
Yeah,
but I've lived in Baltimore.
Considering it's Baltimore, I imagine that there's a lot of Poe related events. Edgar Allan Poe.
Not that I'm aware
of. Am I wrong? Am I getting that correct? Am I getting that correct for what he's,
Yeah, you're correct. I don't think that's a thing. That'd be cool though. I would go if that was a thing, but
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
got
know
to
if
be
any that
like
exist.
library bookish things, right? Things like
There's a museum here dedicated to him, and it closed down.
what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's silly.
Well, because it's in such a bad area of Baltimore.
Oh, that location. That's
Yeah.
that can affect things. You have to be in a kind of a specific areas for it to work well, especially a niche type of situation. Alrighty. Well, if you're getting tired, we can wrap things up. So if you want to wrap things up, you can tell us about yourself one more time and basically where can we find you and stuff, and you can mention all of that.
Sure. Again, thank you for having me on here. This was fun.
Absolutely.
My pen name is E.L. Summers, and you can find me on Instagram under author E.L. Summers, and I have a Ko-fi and Substack for Enchanting Tales Publishing. It's a publishing company that me and my sister are trying to get off the ground. It's a lot harder.
I saw that. And I like your new logo. It's very nice.
Again, back to Dragon, because Dragon are awesome.
Hey. I have a new logo coming. Does it involve a dragon? It just might.
Are we gonna see it soon?
I am hoping for June. I'm hoping for no later than the middle of June. This will be very nice, as I have some things happening.
Did you create it?
No, a friend of ours did, though. Yes.
But you're an artist.
I'm not that kind of an artist. I'm more mixed media and coloring stamped images. That said, I have drawn before. I'm just don't have the background to do that sort of thing.
Got it.
But our friend, let's just say our friend's first name starts with an S, and she's an artist.
Oh, okay.
A photographer and dancer and singer. You may know where I'm going with that. S.T.
Nope.
Okay. Maybe I should say it. I can say it. Why not? Miss Sako Toomey.
It's up to you.
Miss Sako Toomey is working on my. Yes.
Awesome.
And it's her first. Well, I don't know if it's her first logo, but she's some of her first things she's doing is me. So. And so, by the way, maybe that could be a good segue with talking about myself, unless you are not finished.
No, well,
I did interrupt you. I'm so sorry.
I was just gonna say that the logo I have was made by the person that does all my book covers, and her name is Megan, and her business is MCat Designs. You can find her on Facebook. If you guys need any book covers done or logos, or she's really awesome.
Cool. That name does sound familiar. Great. So, okay. I guess we can start wrapping things up. Some more by me saying, hi again. I'm Heather Dewey Pettit, and thank you for watching this third episode, volume 3, in this season's podcast, which was renamed slightly from last year. So I'm giving it its own playlist, I guess, but I might just pop it into the other one. We'll see. Anyway, so yes, I'm Heather Dewey Pettit. I am an author, editor, and artist, but multimedia mostly artist. And let's see. So as an author, I have been working on editing a nonfiction book that is geared towards writers. It's called the Fairy Glossary and Guide for Writers.
Ooh.
And it's all about, my first thought was to have a, a client magnet, like a reader magnet. And I would have a short glossary of some basic actual fairy folklore with listings. It has grown. I keep saying, yeah. So it has definitely grown, and I'm currently at, it's more than just a little sampling. It's a big sampling, if that makes any sense. But these are British fairies, real British folklore and mythology, and where that intersects. And I didn't have to do a lot of research because I'd already done it for the novel I will get back to eventually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you know that shiny object syndrome? Yeah. But I wanted to do it because, yeah, again, it's a client magnet, but it's also something that I think would benefit a lot of people, because it's not just the glossary, because it's called the Glossary and Guide for Writers, because there's a lot in there about being very careful with some aspects of these types of characters, say dwarfs, right, or things that might be equated with disability. Now it's just a little problematic. Right. And so I talk about dwarves in that way. And there's others that there's definitely one that's very problematic that I want to talk about in another video. So that's a whole subject right there. And then I also discuss appropriation. I explain what it is. And so there's that. So I am editing. I am planning to do some editing tomorrow. And I plan to get it out I hope to get it out in June. I was kind of hoping for the 21st. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but if I can get it out in June, I would be happy. If I get it out this year, I'll be happy. I was also thinking about Christmas time because it's a thing, right? Because everybody's buying books for gifts. Anyway, so that's that. And but my highest priority currently has been the editing side, because I'm a freelance line editor, copy editor, and sensitivity reader. Primarily, I've also added some additional services, and I can talk about that in the future some more. But essentially, I've added things like some nonfiction related things like recipe editing, but also obviously there are some forms of fiction that include recipes. So there's that.
You're just trying to do it all,
like cozy fantasy. Anyway. And let's see. So I've also added some other things like critiques, manuscript critiques and manuscript evaluations. There we go. That's the word I was looking for, manuscript evaluations. So yes, I'm really looking forward to launching those. I've been talking about it for the last, just this last week, actually, just this week. I was beginning to announce all of that. So anyway, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I don't want to dilly-dally anymore. So I think maybe, but we have only been streaming for an hour. I'm proud of myself because it usually lasts longer than this.
Oh, really? How long? What was the longest?
Yes. About an hour and 20 a lot of times. Sometimes it's more like an hour and a half. but there was one occasion where, and we were laughing about it last week because that was the previous volume. My friend and I, Elizabeth Schechter, we were doing one of these last year, and we literally could not stop talking. I think our stream was 2 hours long, something like that. I think it might have been a little bit over, but anyway, as a whole, we talked for like 3 hours because we talked before. We talked after. But it was crazy. It was just crazy. So we just didn't, there was so much we wanted to talk about. And it's in the other playlist if you're interested, because we talked about this very subject. We talked about disability that we were just talking about. Disability and creating characters. So.
Oh, fun! Yeah, I'll definitely.
So anyway, because it was like kind of like research for my workshop, which I did at Necronomicon last year. Anyway, stop. So you can find me at Heather Dewey Pettit or Heather Dewey Pettit Edits, pretty much everywhere. Instagram, YouTube. I'm working on changing over my Facebook, so that's going to be changing. But yes, my business name is Heather Dewey Pettit Edits. So I'm a legitimate business. I am a legitimate business. I've been doing this as long as I have. Yeah. So anyway, I have been. It's a good segue. I have been. I've been working with words. I have been working with words for over 25 years, and so I come to this with some experience. Anyway, so as I said, at Heather Dewey Pettit or Heather Dewey Pettit Edits, everywhere. If you want to reach out, please feel free in any way, shape, or form. And now, another quick segue, I hope, to next. Let's see, our next volume. Wow, it's getting late. Sorry, our next volume, I will be talking to my friend Perry Bruns, who is an audiobook narrator, among other things. He also is a writer and an actor in many ways, shapes, and forms. Radio, theater, he does a lot of different things. So fascinating stuff. Fascinating guy. And just don't be too distracted by the sound of his voice, because it's like he's got a silvery tongue.
I don't think I could ever be an audio narrator because I hate the sound of my voice.
I used to as well. I mean, no, I take it back. I still don't like the sound of my voice, but I've been working on it. So there's that. I found it's good for me to lower the sound of my voice, to lower the tone. Anyway, so it just makes it more palatable. I'm sorry. I need to stop. Stop. Thank you so much sorry. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten this far, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you to anybody who has come in and watched the live and or the replay. Thank you very much. Liking does help not only my channel, but it helps you as the viewer to see more of me or similar videos. And that's it. So yes, like, comment, and subscribe. That would be very, very nice. Also, Lauren has a YouTube channel too. If you'd like to hop over there, and I will pop a link into the description as soon as possible. As soon as we're done with this, I will do that. I promise.
Well, thank you.
Get the links in. Alrighty, well, thank you very much for watching.
Come back next week for next week's episode.
Yes, that's right. Next week's episode with audiobook narrator Perry Bruns. Don't miss it. All right. Have a good day and a good weekend, and I'll see everybody later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.